Hello, my name is Brittany Benson, and I did this lesson on sexually transmitted infections. This is for 10th grade students in their sex education unit. The standards that I'll be addressing in this lesson are Standards 1 and Standard 3. Students will comprehend concepts related to health promotion and disease prevention to enhance health, and students will demonstrate the ability to access valid information, products, and services to enhance health. The learning objectives that I'll aim to cover will be that students will demonstrate the ability to access valid information regarding a specific STI and share this information to the class in a group project. Information will include description of transmission, prevention, treatment, and signs or symptoms. Students will locate at least one service provider in their neighborhood that can assist with STI treatment, prevention, or testing, and they'll include this in their group presentation. And then students will thoroughly understand how to prevent at least one STI by discussing prevention techniques in their group presentation. So to open up this activity, we'll do one of our bell ringers. In one of the lessons, I talked a little bit about how I like to use journaling. I like the fact that students are able to get down their thoughts, their behaviors, their current attitudes before they hear from the group or before they hear any information. So when they come in, they'll sit down, they'll know to take out their journals. The bell ringer will be on an activity. So when they sit down, I will pass out little cups of water to each student. To start, there'll be lids on the cups of water, so they won't be able to see what's inside. The difference between all the cups is that some are regular water and some cups have food dye in it, so they have a distinct blue color. So only 2 cups will start out with that distinct blue color. But once everyone has their cups, I'll ask students to share their water with 3 other people. So they'll just go in, they'll dump a little bit of their water in another person's cup, and then after they share with 3 other people, they'll return to their seats. Once at their seats, I'm going to ask them to look into their cup and see what color water they have. I want to see how many people have clear water versus how many people have blue water. And then I'm going to tell students that we only started off with 2 blue colored cups. And depending on how many students now have that blue color, that guided question for their journal prompt is going to say, how do you think this relates to the spread of STIs? Because at this point, a lot of students now should have that blue coloring. So I'll give them a couple minutes. They're going to think about how they can relate that activity to what goes on in real life with the spread of STIs. So whether it's they didn't ask their partner about quote what color water they had, or if they had an STI, or if they didn't think about protection, things like that. So that's what I'm hoping that they'll reflect on in their journals, and then we'll come together and we'll share our responses as a group. From there, we'll go into the STI PowerPoint. So here, I'll just introduce an overview of sexually transmitted infections, so what they are, what they're caused by, the prevalence in the United States, some signs and symptoms, some testing options. We'll also go over ways that they can be transmitted, ways they can be treated. Some are curable, some are not curable, but can be treated, and then some prevention methods. So we'll talk a little bit about how you should talk with your partner, how you should practice safe sex, abstinence is an option, and then also limiting sexual partners. So we'll discuss all those behaviors. And from there, I'm going to go into specifically HIV and AIDS. So I'll present to them specifically what it is, the prevalence. I'll just give them some stats so they can see how prevalent it is, especially around people their own age. We'll talk about some signs and symptoms, transmission, prevention, and then treatment. And from there, after I present HIV and AIDS, I'm going to have them get into groups. And just how I made a presentation on that specific STI, I'm going to ask students to follow that exact same model. So every component that I had in there that I presented on HIV/AIDS, that's what they're going to do for that STI. So their group will be assigned one of these STIs, and they will get together in their group, and they will have the rest of the class to start working on that. So they can brainstorm, they can start their research, they can start their presentation, however they want to use that time. To close the class, I'll just remind them that when their presentation's due, so the following day they're also going to have time to work on it, and then the day after is when they will present. And once I give them that reminder, the lesson will be over. Thank you.